How y'all doing? I may have a few words today. This is when you vote for someone and you believe them, and then they do actually seem to do some of the things that they promise you that they're going to do since you voted for them. It's sometimes shocking when you hear them start talking about doing things that they should know that people like yourself did not vote for them for. In this instance, it's this. They're talking about assault weapons ban. It did not work in the 90s when they did it. They talk about the gun manufacturers and how they hurt them. The gun manufacturers loved it because it drives the price of the weapons way up. They now can make one and sell it for the price of 10. I mean, you could buy a Kalashnikov in the 80s, like an AK-47 made in China for $70. I'm not exaggerating. Maybe $50. You could buy one made in Russia for $100, definitely. And they instituted that crap, and so I started thinking about this and some other things, and this song came into my head. I'm trying to open up with like a little song service, and it's good for me. It just is because it's nerve wracking for me. I don't. It's, believe it or not, I feel nerves. Some people would disagree with that, but I'm me telling you I do. So here, sit back and relax. This is how I feel. And yeah, I do. I believe this, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it today, that the Statue of Liberty is Elosia. Lady Liberty, manifests destiny when you've seen the feminine looking angel with a sword leading the way across the West to California, Oregon, and Washington State. Blazing that trail, manifest destiny, seed a shining sheet. That was Elosia. That was Columbia. That was Satan. Sorry, if you think that's weird, the wrong spot, because I know that's true. I don't think it. I know it's true. The people who are in charge will tell you. So let me give this a shot. This isn't the easiest thing I've ever done. I try to pick out tough ones and then sing them in the key they're intended, because it keeps me honest. Procol Harum. Skip the lights, fandango. Turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kind of seasick, but the crowd cried out for more, and the room was humming harder as the ceiling blew away. When I called out for another drink, the waitress brought a tray, and so it was that later, as the miller told his tale, that her face at once ghostly turned a whiter shade of pale. She said there is no reason and the truth is plain to see. Well, as I wander through my playing cards, would not let her be. For the 16 festal virgins that were sailing for the coast. And at the moment my eyes were open, might just as well been closed. And so it was that later, while the miller told his tale, that her face all of a sudden turned ghostly. It was a whiter shade of pale. Yeah. Not bad. I think they cut that off though. They did. It should have went around again, and I should have said, and so it was that later as the miller turned his tail. And I'm fine with that. Because that and as you could tell the first two times I did it, when I go up to that, and so it was, I think that's a middle C. For me, that's at the very, very ultimate end of my range. I am completely out of it there. I don't have another fraction of a note. In fact, I'm barely hanging on to that one. And so, just it ended early. Okay, I'm fine with that. But that was Procol Harum. Thank you very much. Next 6 minutes. They're not what they used to be. Some people think that when someone sings that they just can sing or they don't sing. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. I'm gonna turn my vocals up a little bit more now. I haven't turned down just because I definitely don't want to overpower, and I can't tell, and I'm using a different computer now foolishly. So hopefully the mix was okay. But it's like anything else. Your voices, your vocals, and I mean, when I was in a band, we were, a 3-piece, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, same guy, bass player, and then the drummer, and then we were dual singers. We both sang the same amount of songs. Probably on any given night, we'd both do 15, and then we both do a set of 5 of our own. So we both were singing 20 different songs. We played about 40 different songs on any given night. And because there's some like, oh man, anytime we went to this little bar, I don't know if I should name it or not, but this little bar in Midland, very small. I mean, little bar. The drums, you're set up in a little corner. You're set up in a space much smaller than this room is right here. I mean, my elbows are right there. You're tight. And I mean, Seven Nation Army, they would skin us alive if we didn't play that 3 times. And the beer bottles start to fly if I didn't sing Hurt. I think I did. I know I covered that with something behind me on one of my breaks where I was covering a couple while the boys were out having a smoke, so to say. Well, Don Freeborn, the guitarist, the lead guitarist, rhythm guitarist, and singer, he didn't smoke marijuana. Once in a while, but usually not. Very little did he drink either. Very excellent songwriter, man. We used to play this song called Cherries. I quit my job today. Life is tough, it seems. Life is just a bowl full of cherries. And, cops gonna... I can't even, man. I'd have to go back. I know a friend of mine's got us recorded playing it. That was another one at a couple of bars. We'd get skint if we didn't play it. Now, there was a band in town called Cherry Red. And that song was Cherries, Bowl of Cherries. And they asked us one day if they could use that song. Don wrote it. I can't take any credit for it, to be honest. I mean, I played the bass on it, and I ended up doing what was consistently used as the drum track, the drum line. But he wrote the song, man. I mean, he came with the lyrics, melody, harmony, everything, and I just filled in. I think they call that. I was part of the ensemble at that point. So in reality, in the music realm, you don't even get royalties if you're just part of the ensemble. You have to be part of the writer or the lyricist, or the person that wrote the melody and the harmony, you know. So anyway, I'm getting a little off track here. Good old days, man. I mean, and back then, you know, we were playing 4 nights a week and then practice once a week. So you do the math, that's 5 nights a week. Practice would be 2 to 5 hours, just depending upon what went down and how happy we were and what new stuff we were working on, what was going on. And then, of course, a gig is usually, you know, 9 to 1, something like that. It usually is 9 to 1. Band's gonna play from 9 to 1. Everybody gonna have some fun and do the mess around. You know what I mean? And that's what we did. We did the mess around. We covered all kinds of stuff. I mean, we covered everything from Bon Jovi to Black Sabbath, and a lot in between. We've covered John Denver, and it was good. I mean, we would have people that would come and listen to us that were bikers. We'd have some retired GM workers. We had some rowdy, you know, youngins. That we had a lot of people. Guys, we started out as the band was called the Black Crack Smoking Squirrels, and we later on at this point, what I'm talking about, we were called Lead Poison Grin. But when we were the Black Crack Smoking Squirrels before Don Freeborn came on, we were just a crazy punk band. Didn't even play out very rarely, and wrote a song called Kool-Aid. Anyway, I'm really off track. So I got a few things to say, and not much because I got some things to do today and some things in my mind. You know, when I hear Mitch McConnell talking about, you know, when we come back, we're going to start talking about assault rifle bans. Look, Lady Liberty weeps. Even this evil thing, if whatever it is, if you don't subscribe to that, some people don't buy into the devil God mythos. They just don't buy into it. They believe there are both entities too. Some people believe this. But there's neither good nor real bad ascribed to either one. They're just different entities. You'd follow one or the other. You know, I don't buy into that. But even if I did, I'd have to say that Aloja, Lady Liberty, Columbia, she's shaking her head. She really is. There's this horrible thing is going on right now where some crazy person does some crazy, murderous, insane stuff. By the way, this person, the guy in El Paso, was autistic. They have no empathy. These people, you could be beating someone to death with a ball bat next to a proper autistic, proper on the spectrum. They have no empathy. They will eat their hamburger and just, you know, don't get any blood on it. They don't empathize. They can't empathize. They don't have the ability. He's seen a problem. He cited the Christchurch shooter. The Christchurch shooter said that one of the things he hoped to do was to enact more gun laws. In doing this, they're giving in to the insanity, and they're punishing people that have committed no crimes because someone committed a crime. It is insane. Does anyone, do even the politicians that spout it, do any of them believe that passing one more law will stop these things? What they're going to end up doing is making them more horrific, like the Ariana Grande concert there in England, in Manchester, right? Wasn't it in Manchester, Ariana Grande? They blew the hell out of them up. Gun laws there are strict. You can still get shot in the streets of London. They stab left and right. Now they're enacting knife laws. They have not figured out that it doesn't matter how many laws you enact. People will do bad things. A lot of the times what causes, if you want to, be so weak as to say there is a cause to madness, but I'll indulge that thought for a second. I mean, but we could go so far as to say that the society we live in is the cause of this insane anomaly of people going out and murdering groups of folks about doing everyday business. Now, I do want to mention a couple things. Statistically, the United States is not number one per capita for mass shootings like this. Not at all. Mass killings, not even close. Not even close if you just say mass killings and not mass shooting. Mass shootings, I don't believe it's even close. I think we're 30th. We're down there low. And so when you hear people say this is a uniquely American problem, they're lying to you. Ask yourself why they're lying to you. Because the next thing they say, I mean, you may be listening to me. You may own an AR-15. You may own an AK-47. You may own a 30 caliber carbine. You may own a Scorpion, an Evo Scorpion, a CZ. You may own any number of these. You may own a HK. You may own any number of weapons. Would you ask yourself, what have you? They say blood on your hands. What have you done? Nothing. The answer is nothing. Ask yourself again, why? A, did this person lie to me and say that this is uniquely American, that this is something that happens in the United States of America and no place else, never happens anywhere else? Why did they lie and say that? Then why did they try to say that I was complicit and make me feel that? Why is this entire thing driven by emotions? Because emotions make people do things that are knee-jerk reactions and do things that they would not do if they think about it for just a little bit. And once the United States puts a law in the book, all you have to do is look at the Patriot Act, a crazy, insane, anti-American, anti-constitutional, illegal piece of legislation that is still there. They'll never let it go. Trump should be against it. If it wasn't for this Patriot Act, there'd be no FISA courts. This is something that came about because of this. Because look, our spying agencies are not supposed to spy on American citizens, but with this FISA court, they can. Man, ever stop to think? Did you ever stop to think that you may not want your government, wherever you live, spying on you? Not the United States, not Germany, not Japan, not China, nowhere. They do it in China, but you don't want it. Now we have it here. They're going to hold on to this tight. They're going to use emotion to get some rhino wannabe, absolute globalist, absolute Luciferian, Satan worshiping, Moloch cock sucking idiot like cocaine Mitch McConnell. He's going to get on his perch. He's going to tell you about how he wants to keep you safe. He can't keep himself safe. He's got a yard full of rabble screaming, murder, turtle. You think he didn't have his shotgun in hand? You think he didn't have his AK-47 or AR-15 in hand, probably fully automatic? You think there wasn't already the security in place? It was. It is. He did. He did. That's the way it is. Guns for me, not for thee. Safety for me, none for you. I live in security. I'm able to, remember what we talked about the other day? Virtue signaling, destroying good words like virtue by putting qualifiers like this bullshit virtue signaling, social justice. They're destroying our language. They're destroying our ability to communicate with each other like sane and rational individuals. They're destroying our ability to come to sane conclusions among ourselves and then implement those socially so that we can see a better society, a better living condition around us. Western society did not create slavery and racism. We ended it. Do we get all the blame now because we ended these things that still go on in other parts of the world and are either just, they look the other way or completely condone it? Slavery, I'm thinking of. Racism, I'm thinking of. Go to South Africa if you don't believe me. Just move in if you're white. Move down there. Move there if you're black. If you're black and American, you'd be shocked. You get down there and see how things go. You would be shocked to see that, yes, it's not only racism, it's racism on a scale that you can't fathom. They do horrible things, and I'm not really going to talk about it again today. I've talked about it before, and the things that they do to these farmers, it's out of a horrible horror comic. It's out of a terrible pulp magazine, out of, detective magazine. That's what it feels like. Just over the top, unbelievable brutality in the name of racism, in the name of you're this color, we don't like you. And it's going on now. I'll be honest, I don't believe in this plane of existence where we're at right now that these things are ever going to stop. So may I please keep my firearm? May I please keep it loaded right where I can reach it? May I please always be able to grab my piece, my Glock? May I always be able to grab my 30 caliber carbine and, not to fight the powers that be. That'd be foolish anyway. They just kill me. But to be able to defend myself against marauders in the night. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to be a coward. Yes, to go toward the sound of gunfire if my government does get too oppressive and starts to kill my fellow Americans, be they black, white, whatever they are, Muslims. I don't care what they are. If they're Americans and they love this country and the government's oppressing them and hurting them, I would be on their side. Whether that side would be to stand and have a war of words, or that side would be to stand and have a war. It wouldn't matter to me. What matters is freedom. What matters is your ability to make any choice you care to make that doesn't hurt me. You can't twist it and say my choice to protect myself against violence coming my way adds to violence. You can't. That is so far from rational. It's so far from logical that we can all agree that you just can't say that. No one can use that in a logical, reasonable society. That argument gets thrown out. But the society we live in today, you can just get a group of people to point at an individual and say, this person's racist. Look at this statement. What they said is, and they use terms like this, is obviously racist. Everyone knows that this statement is obviously racist. We all here agree, and you at home know that this person is racist. And they'll keep it. They'll keep it up. They'll keep doing it. They'll keep telling you that you know something that you know is not true until, if you allow it, if you let it creep into your brain, you will believe that. You won't even know when it happened. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I do listen to some news. Most of my consumption of media this way is through earbuds while I'm doing something, while I'm working, so I can be productive. It's through my phone. And just the simple fact of the matter is, I missed a call, and I might have to cut this a little short. I mean, my stand's going. I'm going to do a barbecue next Sunday, and it's going to be open to the public. Got some things planned in the works. So let me wrap it up this way. Let me just put a bow on it. I will swear that I will protect your freedom, and I will protect the freedom of everyone to make any choice they care to make that doesn't affect me negatively, that doesn't take from me, that doesn't physically harm me. Okay. I support your freedom to call me a kike, a Jew bastard, whatever you want, a Christ killing, hook nosed, money changing, whatever you want. I don't care. I mean, I don't want to give you any more ideas, but I don't care. You're free to say that. You're free to say that my ideas suck. You're free to say that my farm is stinky and that my chickens look like they're mite-ridden and my dog is a flea-ridden mongrel. You can say all these things. Hell, you can mean them. It doesn't matter. You can't poison my dog. You can't shoot my chickens. You can't steal my vegetables. You can't molest my wife. If you do these things, I will retaliate. If you do these things, I will do my best to end your ability to do this to me or to others. I've never in my life had to do anything like that. I've never had to fire a gun at someone. I've been in some situations. Never had to fire a gun at someone. Don't care to. But I'm gonna use this oft-repeated quote. How you doing, MCJK? I'm gonna use this oft-repeated quote. I would rather have a gun and not need it than need a gun and not have it. That's the worst situation you can be in. One human being with a revolver can control 100 human beings without one. Oh, and I know they can rush. Well, yeah, they could have rushed guards at the concentration camps where they far outnumbered. They could have, and there's so many situations they could rush guards, but it always ends bad for the prisoners because more guards come. I mean, prison riots happen in institutions here, straight up prisons, and yeah, they can rush the guards. They can take over. They can kill people, but eventually they lose. I'm not afraid of the terror that walks in the day or that flies at midnight. I'm not afraid of the thief that goes by day or the terror that goes by night. I'm not. One of the reasons is because on my property here, I'm always armed. I'm always armed. You know, and people say, look, I am a Christian, but some people will always point and say, oh, you're a Christian, you're not supposed to do that. Look, once Jesus died and rose and was getting ready to go to heaven, he told his disciples, now, because before Peter cut off somebody's ear, Jesus said, hey, man, that ain't right. Live by the sword, die by the sword, put his ear back on. And this isn't duality. This is a lesson that we need to learn. When he was raised and it was time, and time had changed. It was the times were no longer just, hey, miracles and I will protect you because I'm right here with you. Now Jesus is getting ready to go back. He tells his disciples, in other words, I'm not going to be here to make sure that this group of soldiers doesn't just cut you down. I have my angels right here with me. I won't be here. So this was his advice. So sell what you have and buy a sword. All right. And that's it. I'm not going to go into a long sermon. I don't really like to use the Bible for anything more than if it's wisdom, if it's good wisdom. We get wisdom from Josephus. We get wisdom from Aristotle, from Socrates, from Plato. We get wisdom from all over the place, from Nietzsche. We get all over the place, from Jung. Why can't we also get it from the ancient Hebrews and from the early church? Why can't we also get it from Paul? Why can't we also get it from Jesus himself? And I think we can. But again, I mean, if I sit here and would start, well, would you please turn with me to Acts 3, verse 6. Silver and gold I do not have, but what I have I give unto you. In the name of Jesus of Nazareth, wise up and walking and go off into a sermon. There's a time and place for that, but this isn't it. Well, speaking of time and place, do have many things to do. It is so good to see you folks that slip back here in the end, and this is very short. If you missed it, I suggest you go back and watch everything I had to say. It's compact. I hope it's crisp and concise. And the last thing I would ever do is to vote for anyone that passes gun control laws because they don't understand the Constitution. They don't understand plain English. They don't understand the words shall not be infringed. And I believe the reason that Madison and our wise framers put that in there is because they were saying it's not the weapon. They allowed people to fit out their ships with cannonade, at the time, nuclear weapons. You had a ship fitted out fully with cannonade and with all the with cannonballs and powder. You could roll up to Philadelphia and start leveling stuff. I mean, that was the awesome weapon of war. And the government said, yeah, why? Because they weren't obstructionists. The framers were still alive. Of course, you want the people in your country to be armed very well. You trust them. They're your people. Only people that you don't trust do you want to disarm. And so the government says, well, it's only these conspiracy freaks that say their government might know how to protect themselves. Well, you're saying that you have to protect yourself against us. So who's the conspiracies freaks? The ones that believe they have to protect themselves against an awesome power, the United States government, or the ones that think they have to protect themselves against an awesome power, the people of the United States of America. We don't generally give up. And it only takes a man or woman about 8 years, and they become something different here in this country. That's why some of the most ardent and staunch opposition to all this insane walk over the border no Trump, no wall, no USA at all, are recent immigrants. Yes, from Central, South America, from Mexico. Yes, Latina people, Latino people. And remember that, folks. Don't come take my gun. I won't have to shoot at you. I won't come try to take your gun. You don't have to shoot at me. Don't steal my lawnmower. Don't try to rape my wife. Don't try to take my life. And I will never have to shoot at you. I hope that it will always be that way for every man, woman, and child in this country that I do believe God still loves and God still blesses. Now in my heart, I'm saying a little prayer for you. I'm going to keep it personal, though, this time and keep it to myself. But remember, be good to your friends, be good to your family members, be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friends, your family members, your loved one has done seems to be so huge, you'll never be able to forget about it. Because means of destruction, you gun-grabbing liberal moron, when you least expect it, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, and your right to bear arms will depart from you.